We just worked out at Planet Fitness, so we have a lovely little backdrop going on here. Hello and welcome to my very first video of 2023.
Hi, I'm Claire. This is my husband Andy and our dog Henry. In July, we started living full-time out of this 2005 Freightliner Sprinter van that Andy had custom made for us. After 5 years of the 9-to-5 grind, we decided we wanted to try something new. So we ventured off on a year-long break to see as much of the United States as possible. Join us in our attempt to visit all 50 states in the next 12 months.
New Year's Eve holds a very special place for me when it comes to my YouTube channel because it was New Year's Eve going into the year 2020 when I started my YouTube channel. It was something I'd wanted to do for years, but I was always too scared about the judgment I might get from people. But on December 31st, 2019, due to some unforeseen circumstances, I ended up spending New Year's Eve alone in my apartment in Vancouver. And I was sitting there on the couch waiting and watching for the ball to drop on TV. All of a sudden, I just had this like massive wave of motivation, and I decided I no longer cared what anyone said or thought about me. And I started making my very first YouTube video. And now, in the blink of an eye, 3 years has flown by, and I'm suddenly entering my 4th year of having a YouTube channel. Normally, I like to make this sort of like year in review video where I make this big montage of basically all my videos from that year. But unfortunately, I can't do that this year. I got a new laptop a couple of months ago, hence I lost all my videos up to that point. But it's okay, we're gonna do something a little different this year. I have my partner in crime in the back, aka Handy Andy, aka my husband. And we're gonna talk about our ups and downs from the year, as well as what we're looking forward to in 2023. Scooch, scooch, scooch the boot, bud. So I think we should start out by discussing the elephant in the room here. Us now is a lot different than where we were at the start of 2022. We live in a van. Last year at New Year's Eve time, we had not even had the idea of transitioning to living in our van. At that point, we were expecting to buy a house sometime in the next year. Safe to say that didn't happen. So it's pretty wild to think about because last year at this time, we were living a totally normal life and we had no idea what 2022 really had in store for us. Life is seriously crazy.
I'm gonna sit on you.
My favorite moment of 2022 was our wedding. It was something that I have been really excited for quite a while. It was the perfect day. We got so lucky. We had it on April 1st, which is like kind of hit or miss with the weather in the Portland area. And we had the most beautiful, sunny, gorgeous day. It was like sunny and 75. And it's crazy because 1 week later, when we got back from our honeymoon, we came back to a snowstorm. So I think we just got really lucky with our wedding, and I take that as a sign that it was meant to be. Yeah. What's your favorite moment?
My favorite moment was probably building the van and just coming up with the whole plan. Finally having the freedom to do whatever you want, like whenever you want, which is pretty sweet. The time leading up to us like actually doing this, like that solid 4 months.
He also killed it at the whole build, so something to be proud of.
Yeah, that was a fun process.
My least favorite moment of 2022, I think, was when I had to kind of let go of our dream of being homeowners and starting our family this year. Because at the beginning of this year, I 100% thought that those two things would be happening this year. And once we decided to do this, it became very evident that obviously wasn't going to be happening. By the time we had our wedding on April 1st, we had bought the van at that point, and we had decided we wanted to go a completely different route. So we knew that those things wouldn't be happening this year. They could still happen someday, but it just was something I really thought would be happening in the very near future. And the timeline is totally different now.
My least favorite would probably be when I had a 2004 Corvette. When that thing died, that sucked. That happened this year? Because I bought my Subaru after that. I'm pretty sure it was because I bought my Subaru and only had it for 6 months. But yeah, when the Corvette died, that was pretty sad. I had that as my daily driver for like 4 years. It was a really fun car.
It was a cool car. So last year, my New Year's resolution for 2022 was instead of scrolling before bed, because I would get into bed at like 7 p.m. and scroll on like Instagram and TikTok for literally like 3 or 4 hours until I went to bed. And it really started messing up my sleep. So last year, my New Year's resolution was to start reading in the hours before bed instead of scrolling. And I always said I am too busy to read. I don't have the time to be a reader. I love to read books, but I just don't have the time. But in 2022, I read basically 4 books a month, just because for an hour or 2 or 3 before bed, I would read instead of scrolling. So it helped my mental health a lot, it helped my sleep a lot. So that's something I want to continue as my resolution for the new year. Another thing I would like to sort of make as a New Year's resolution is to get our eating habits into a healthier place. When we lived in our house, we had the nutrition down, but living in a van has definitely made eating a little bit more difficult because it's just not very convenient to prepare and make food in the van. And it's really tempting to just like go through a fast food line sometimes, actually a lot of the time. We just have like a really small fridge, it doesn't hold a lot of food, so we have to get groceries multiple times a week. And even then, it's like a game of Tetris trying to fit our food into our fridge, and it's very frustrating. So it just like is a big deterrent. Is that the word, deterrent? And like helping us be healthy. But I would personally love to really like put more effort into nourishing and fueling my body rather than just like grabbing something that's not super healthy but very convenient. What I am most looking forward to in the new year is visiting all 50 states. We're almost halfway there, so it's definitely doable. I think we've been to like 22 or 23 out of 50, and obviously half of 50 is 25, so we're almost to the halfway mark. So I definitely think it's a possibility that we could do that in the new year.
I would say the same, just continuing to travel and continue to enjoy the freedom of just being able to do whatever we want or stay wherever we want.
Thanks, baby. You're a good sport. Yeah.
It's a lot harder to talk to a camera than a person.
You
Like
did
it feels weird, honestly.
Yeah, it takes
like,
getting used to.
You don't know where to look. It's just like, it's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.